Welcome to the Tech on Toast podcast. My name is Chris Fletcher and I'm your host. Tech on Toast simplifies the way you buy and manage your hospitality tech. Do you need help untangling your tech? Head to our website, techontoast.community, and grab yourself a free tech audit. Find your next tech solution on a marketplace, attend our events, or simply say hello. We're here to help support the industry into the next generation. This podcast is brought to you today by Square. Picture this, all the tools you need to run your business seamlessly managed under one roof. From point-of-sale software and hardware to payments, Square's first-party solution integrates it all into one single dashboard. Beyond that, Square also offers team and inventory management, gift cards, and tools that will help you drive loyalty programs and marketing campaigns. So in a nutshell, Square streamlines your operation by pulling everything together under one roof as a single source of truth, helping you save time. Whether you're running a restaurant, cafe, bakery, bar, pub, or club, Square helps you simplify the way you do business and take payments. Square is trusted by over 4 million businesses globally. Get 20% off Square with Tech on Toast off countertop hardware with promo code SQUAREUK20. Visit square.com to use the promo code or to request to speak to one of our sales team. Enjoy the show. Welcome everybody, welcome to Tech on Toast podcast, and this week we've got a very special episode. We're a stone's throw from Wembley Stadium here at Wembley Park in Bread Ahead, and we're in a live setting, and I'm joined by Matthew Jones, founder of Bread Ahead. How are you?
Very good, thank you for having me.
No,
pleasure to be here. Well, it's my place, so I'm kind of here already. But,
You're always here. And we've got some lovely treats on here, which we'll get into in a minute. And joining us as well is David from Square. How are you, David?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, excited to be here.
What do you do at Square?
I'm a sales manager, so I manage one of our sales teams.
And you have a bit of a relationship already with these guys?
Worked with Matthew throughout the process of sort of exploring Square and getting set up. And now you're here. So I'm passing back. We're going to enjoy passing this mic thing. Matthew, tell us a little bit before we get into anything. Let's talk about your journey and Bread Ahead, because out of shot, there's about 5 raving fans who've been buying your product all morning, and we're looking at some beautiful stuff here on the table. Tell us a little bit about how you've got to this point, because it's been super exciting. Your growth journey's been insane.
Yeah, long journey. I mean, essentially, I've spent my lifetime really in food. So I left school when I was 15. I had a career as a chef. And I've always been in the food industry in one shape or form. It was Michelin-star restaurants, and then I ended up in bakeries and opened Bread Ahead in 2013 in Borough Market. And to be honest, it's been a roller coaster. I mean, it's been just phenomenal from day one.
And what do you think your success is built on? Because obviously, I think a few of us were fans of you on Instagram Live watching you. I was just talking about the glazed. What were the creme brulee donuts you were doing?
The creme brulee donuts.
I mean, they are literally insane. Have you seen them, David, where they literally melt? Anyway, but they look amazing. What do you think the success is behind the growth?
Okay, so I'm a believer in doing classics and leaving them alone. So we do a limited range of very, very good products. We know what we're doing. And we kind of know when to stop.
Right.
There's a lot of gimmicks in the food world. We don't do gimmicks. We are focused. We are clear about what we do. It's sourdough. It's donuts, really amazing flavors, all homemade, all the jams, all the fillings. And we teach. So we have schools where we teach thousands of people. 20,000 last year. It's a huge thing. So we do school groups. We teach home bakers. We do corporate events. All sorts. So we've created a community of bakers around us.
I was going to say, is baking not a dying art, but are you finding that actually you're finding younger kids, people who probably didn't have an interest there, school leavers who are coming into it, finding that they could have a career doing that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and I see it as my job to really sort of awaken the senses of people and really bring them and connect people with the baking and food industry, both of those things. Really.
Love it. And back to Square, because it's interesting. You guys have also been on this journey, right? So you've started with Matthew remember how long ago was it?
Year and a half.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And give us your best pitch for Square before we get into, in case anybody doesn't know who you are. Tell us a little bit about what the product does.
Yeah, for sure. So essentially, what Square does is offers like all of the tools that it takes to kind of help you operate your business on a daily basis. So the kind of ones that we're known for, bread and butter, is payments and point of sale. But if you think wider than that, you're looking at inventory management, staff management, gift cards, e-commerce, loyalty marketing. So it kind of really tries to set up our customers for success by giving them all the tools that they kind of require.
And we're here in Wembley today. In Wembley, you can use Square in different ways, I'm understanding, because how you use it in Borough compared to how you might use it in Wembley, slightly different? Is it a different type of,
Yeah, that was kind of something that we had a conversation with Matthew and his team about when we first started speaking. So one of the needs was something that was going to be versatile. Obviously, the majority of your locations are quick service, counter service, and like speed of transaction is really important. Whereas like in the lovely Wembley venue, you got a bit of more of that full service environment. Orders need to go to certain places. So you kind of were looking for that versatility, and thankfully we'll be able to help with that.
And the challenges of you getting to, I'm always interested to understand how you got to that point when you're because I presume you had a previous solution in place. What led you to the point of saying, oh, we need to change, and what were the challenges I suppose you were facing?
I think speed of transaction was a big one. We had systems that were always crashing. We just used to use those handheld Barclays terminals. They're like dinosaurs. I mean, honestly, they're just like, look, I'm not a tech guy, but I know a dinosaur when I see it. These things were VHS.
Right, okay.
In disguise.
Nothing wrong with VHS, remember the days? Anyway, only me and you know what VHS is, I think.
And now we're like iPhone 16s on steroids.
Yeah. And is speed, because I was having this exact conversation with Wagamama last night. We were talking with the CTO there, and he was talking about speed actually, and how actually for an operator, for someone who's trying to churn out product, that is probably one of the most, it's simplistic, but it's probably one of the most important things, right, to ensure that you're turning money over. What about, because the loyalty program is quite interesting as well, because I've just been using it here, and I think I put my phone number in and straight away I was in the program. Has that been here long, or is that quite a recent acquisition?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Oh, really?
I make the press.
It's really good, by the way.
No, I'm aware there's a whole load of functionality to this, but to be honest, I just sort of love it, and I kind of let the team do their thing.
Right, okay.
I'm really about the food.
Yeah.
That's my role. I'm about the food. I'm about pushing those buttons, and about the spirit of the business. I think that's a really important part of any business. It needs a spirit, and that's what I am. That's my job. So.
You're the spirit animal of Bread Ahead.
I am. Yeah.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
And can I ask you about the loyalty? Because it's super interesting. Because I've just bought a book, the latest cookery book, and I put my phone number in, and within seconds I was into the loyalty program. How quickly will that? What kind of data will they see here, like quickly, in terms of getting repeat customers from using that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I guess it kind of feeds into Square's origin as a product. So where we originated as a payments company, payments is at the core of everything that we do, and so that stems into our loyalty program, where you've signed up initially with your telephone number, and then it's created a profile for you and you've paid. Now, essentially the payment method that you used is your loyalty card at Bread Ahead. So anywhere that you go, like when you pay, it will recognize you automatically. If you were to use a separate payment method, you'd use that telephone number again, and it would link both payment methods to that one profile. But what Matt and his team get on the back end is is 3 levels of data. So you're getting like the itemized transactional data, the customer's loyalty status, and kind of visits and all of the stuff that you want around that to make data-driven decisions, and also the payment data, because that's all connected in one sort of seamless transaction. So to kind of answer your question, what Matthew and his team are getting is like a really strong understanding of like how his customers spend, favorite items, how frequently they visit. And then this becomes really powerful because in the back end, that data can be used alongside our marketing tools to really tailor your outreach to your customers and kind of drive that repeat business.
No, I mean, it's fascinating. I think in Take Away the Tech, back to Matthew here, you understand, I mean, you probably understand more than anyone how your customers, what they love about Bread Ahead, how they behave when they come in, what they order. Have you seen that change over since you've been growing? Or because you talked about its simplicity, you don't mess with food, we do the classics the right way. Have you seen, does the customer behavior change over the last few years? Have you seen differences? Because you're in very different locations now, aren't you?
Yeah. I think the behaviour is the same. I mean, we're known for indulgent baking. Let's call it,
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm about to indulge.
Baking, and that's, I think, what our customers are after. If they have a cinnamon bun or a vanilla donut, they want it to mean it.
Yeah.
They don't want something that's apologetic and half a portion. They want the proper, real deal. and that's what we deliver. And so we do got a breakfast menu at Wembley. We do full English breakfast. It's a full English breakfast, proper, full on. Wonderful thing to eat.
I didn't know that. If I'd known that, I would have been partaking before you arrived.
It's good. It's good. Pancakes, French toast.
Okay, stop.
Cheese
Yeah,
sandwiches.
very good. And because of this, I mean, we're talking about data and tech, and we're understanding your customers better will come from obviously having these great systems. What does it mean in terms of growth for you? Because obviously you've got to this point. You're now, how many sites? Sorry.
We'll be 6 next week. We're opening a place in Battersea Power Station next week. So 6 in London.
Wow.
They're pretty big sites. We haven't. They're 2 of them are very big. Here in Borough Market are massive. So we do very well.
And what about the learning from that? Because I'm really interested to understand how you've changed your operations. Because obviously, I know the product will stay the same, or you'll continue on your methodology. Yeah. But how does it work because my background, I was in operations for a long time. Yep. How does it work for the team? Because obviously you need to put great, I presume, managers into each location. And this lady's been here since the start, she was telling me this morning.
Yeah, Kathy's been around for a long time. 3-4 years. Yeah, I mean, we look after them. We keep good people. I think. Well, we're not looking at opening 30, 40 sites. No. So we're a relatively niche brand. The biggest growth for us is international. Yeah,
tell us about that. That'd be super interesting.
Yeah, so we opened 3 years ago. We opened in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah. So we're now open. We have 2 locations in Jeddah, 2 in Riyadh, 2 in Dubai. We're opening a load more. We've got a partnership deal there to open right across the Middle East. So that includes Egypt, Morocco, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait over the next 3 years.
And Asia, bakery in Asia, I'm told, is huge.
We've signed.
I don't know how I know that.
Actually, I just came back from Philippines. I was there 2 days ago. So we are opening in the Philippines, in Manila, in Q2 next year.
Okay, that's exactly what I was talking about. My friend has a co-working space in Manila.
Yeah. So we're targeting, the next target for us is Southeast Asia. So South Korea, Taiwan, Singapore,
Wow.
We'll capture all of that. And we are this close to signing a site in New York.
I was going to. I didn't know whether I should mention it or whether I was allowed to mention it, but that's super exciting.
It's a big one.
Is everybody here invited?
Yeah, we're invited to the opening. Yeah, it's but we can't say where it is. It's top secret.
And you told me this is going to be like a borough-esque type vibe.
Yeah. We want to take the spirit of Borough Market. That's what we are. We are simple range. It's quite earthy, and I think it will really connect with the New York audience. How they are. They're about the food.
Yeah.
They're not into the frills. They want the food. They want the product.
That's really cool. And in terms of growth with Square, how do you guys support that kind of growth? Because obviously, you're obviously a global brand, and you've got a customer here who's kind of spreading his wings across international locations. How does that work for you guys? Are you able to support?
I mean, so we're in numerous international markets. Not quite in Asia or the Middle East yet, but like
you need to open in Manila quick.
Yeah, obviously the US, Canada, the UK, Ireland, Spain, France, Australia, Japan. So like there's plenty of room to support growth there. But I think what Matthew and his team will have experienced is like is a really strong account management team that we have that like are going to be there to support like every step of the way. And like, obviously hoping that the tools are easy and sort of streamlined enough for you to just rinse and repeat, really.
Rinse and repeat, love that.
That's what we want. Yeah, that's what we want to achieve. Just that Borough Market experience, really. That's the heart of what we are.
And it's great to be able to replicate something that's so successful. When I went to meet you in Borough on the accidental meeting the other day. That's fine. Because I used to work for Pie, as I said, and I was overlooking at the Prime Minister's stand. And being in Borough amongst the food is your happy place, right? It's such a, that vibe is very hard to repeat. Even the market halls who are trying to do it now can't really replicate the way that market trader feel type food environment.
It's a very, very, very special place in the world. Borough is a very unique offer.
And what I'm trying to do is extract out of you where you are in New York to understand how that would replicate.
Yeah, sort of somewhere between Brooklyn and Manhattan, kind of thing.
It just sounds cool. Yeah, New York, Brooklyn, Manhattan.
Yeah.
And how will you be out there a lot then? Will you be out there?
I mean, I go there quite a lot anyway, so yeah, I'll go out there. I've got a guy who's going to go there for 6 months.
Right, okay.
We'll send a team.
Yeah. That's very cool. And do you do that for the international openings then? Do you have like an openings team that will go out and do?
Yeah, we do. And I go for openings. I love it. Really travel quite a bit. And yeah.
It's very cool. Well, look, I mean, we'll just spin ourselves to the future a little bit here before we go off and have a wander around and meet some of your team and look at the kitchens.
Yeah.
What does the future look like for you? Obviously, you've mentioned the openings. What in terms of product and what you do? Are you going to stick close to your goals? You're going to remain where you are?
Yeah, I won't move. Yeah.
Any more merchandise? Because we're quite keen. Any more?
What have we done recently, merchandise-wise? We've got our lovely bags. Where are they? I've got them around somewhere. We can display those later. Yeah, I mean, I think the education side of it's a big thing. So we recently launched our academy. So we're teaching. We've got a group of 6 people. It's a pilot. They're probably here actually upstairs. So we're doing that for 6 months. We're sponsoring it, and with a view to looking for commercial partners to take that into a sort of a bigger platform for school leavers, really, or people who want to change career path and become a baker. So that's a big thing for us. More cookbooks. So I've actually got a book coming out this Christmas, which is called The Magical Mince Pie, which is a children's bedtime story.
Right, okay.
Along the lines of The Magic Porridge Pot or The Hungry Caterpillar. So I love children's cookbooks, and it's really what influenced my life. So to become a chef. And so I've written one about the mince pie. And it's quite special because it starts off as a bedtime story, but then it's got the recipe for the mince pie in the back. So when the little bakers want to grow up and make their own mince pies, they can. And
what about us big bakers?
You're allowed, but you should already know how to do it.
Yeah, I should. I know.
Yeah.
I can make pies. That's my limit. Mince pies might be a stretch for me. But look, super interesting. And for Square, going forward, because obviously we talked about, and we use abbreviations like FSR and QSR, but the full service restaurant product you have here, I found it super slick and interesting. And then what's the difference between the two products between here and the QSR, just to understand that properly?
Yeah, so it's actually like simply a matter of a couple of settings in your back office. So you have complete remote control of like all of your devices, so every till or handheld that you use. And you can basically tailor how you want that device to behave. So whereas like here you'd be, logging into the POS and seeing the table plan and managing bills that way, whereas at Borough it would just be straight through to the menu and item library. And
it plays nicely, obviously, to the simplicity and speed theme.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Borough, where that's absolutely necessary.
We'll experience that later. And what about and coming up for Square? Anything exciting coming up for you guys?
We have a few exciting product launches coming up.
You guys never tell me though. Can you tell us or not?
I don't think I'm allowed to say right now. Yeah, but it's always exciting things going on, so yeah, stay tuned, I guess, on Square.
And look, that's super. And if people want to get in touch with you and they're listening and they're hearing, I suppose, understand the challenges that actually Matthew faced when they got to that point where they're kind of at that, not breaking point. Was there a particular day when you went, right, I'm changing it?
Yeah.
I'm interested. Sorry, if you just mind answering that, because was there a day that you got to breaking point?
Yeah, I mean, Borough Market is our thing. We do there sometimes 3,000 transactions in a day, and the handheld devices that we previously had, the PDQs, were just constantly going down because the Wi-Fi just wasn't strong enough to support it. And honestly, you're just bleeding cash. I mean, it was a nightmare.
And service, I presume, was awful. Not, as a service for the guys and for the customers.
And it's like then, because nobody pays cash anymore, anywhere. Have you got cash? Oh my God, yeah. So we were just desperate to change, and then it was actually a sort of almost a happy accident. It was coincidentally one of the worst managers I've ever had in this business, who was an absolute horror story. Obviously, by mentioning his name, he was the one who introduced Square, so it's the best thing he ever did.
As he was leaving.
So, thank you, if you're listening.
Wow, I'm sure the first bit he'll probably forget, the second bit I'm sure he'll really appreciate.
You never know. Every cloud has a silver lining.
No, it's super interesting. I was just going to say, if people are facing that challenge, because I think that's where, for me with operations, when you get to a point where there's always a breaking point, there's always a day, because you're always in the back of your head thinking, systems, I need to do something, I need to change something, but getting to that point is quite difficult sometimes, but it normally takes a particular day or a scenario or something happens that gets you to a point, right, I'm going to change. So, and that was your point, and I think it's super interesting. If people want to find out more about Square, how do we get hold of you?
Oh yeah.
So our website, you can fill out an inquiry form, go straight through to our sales team, who will look after you brilliantly. If you want to reach out to me directly, you can go to my LinkedIn. Yeah,
stalk you on LinkedIn?
LinkedIn's absolutely fine. You'll find a bunch of our team on LinkedIn, so there's plenty of ways to get in touch, and yeah, we'll be able to help.
Perfect. And for all the budding bakers out there who want to kind of get in touch with you, Matthew, and maybe you want to come and see the school. Have you got schools in more locations or just here?
Yeah, so here in Borough Market and in Pavilion Road in Chelsea.
Okay.
And also in Jeddah. We'll open one in Dubai.
That's a bit of a commute for me, that one.
Yeah, it's quite far. Yeah. If you want to bake, just get on with it. You know, I mean, I think you've just got to do it. It's one of those. I'm a very industrious person, so I've always had that sort of nature about me. If I want something, I just go and get it. And just.
Well, I was going to say, what's the key thing you love about, I suppose, what you do? There must be one thing because you're up early every day, right?
Yeah,
I'm an
early riser.
I follow you past the cathedral every day in Southwark.
I think it's the sort of instant gratification of baking, because you always get gratification from what you do, and it's something that it pushes little buttons inside me. If I'm rolling croissants, if I'm taking bread out of the oven, I just love the process, and I just really, really enjoy it. I enjoy it being part of it. I look forward to coming into work every day. So it's very fortunate to have a business that sort of enriches me spiritually as well as emotionally and on many levels, which is what a bakery is. And fundamentally, they're community places where you can go in and share what you do.
Love that. And if people want to find you, I presume you have a website, or where can people? Can they find you on
email? It's easy.
So what's your email? You happy to share it?
Yeah, it's matt@breadahead.com, which I hate really because my name's Matthew, but my email is quite misleading. So.
He's called Matthew. Yes.
Yeah, my name's Matthew. Yeah. And it's like Matt. It says, they call me Matt in America. Matt. Hey, Matt. Matthew.
I suggest we update your email to help you.
Yeah. Well, then it'd be really confusing because. I'd have two email addresses. So I do think about that from time to time. What a dilemma.
I'm glad we ended on that really high level note. Good. Well, look, lovely to meet you. We're going to spend some time with you now and wander around the venue.
Let's go and have a look at
Thank you, David. Appreciate it. And thank you very much. Thanks for joining Tech on Toast podcast. We'll see you all again soon. And we're off to have some donuts.
Let's go and bake.